All right. Are we good?
Okay.
All right. Welcome back, Double Teamed fam. How are we doing today? So we are bringing back not only our best friend, but our favorite psychic. She is now an author of the best book. You guys need to get this book. I'm sorry. I love it so much. It's The Inner Tarot by Kate Van Horn. And yeah, we're always stoked to record with her.
So welcome back on the pod.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. I've been feeling so inspired post-book now, since it's out in the world, to like explore new stuff and learn new things and start to share psychic work in new ways. So I'm excited to be here to like talk about some of that.
I love that.
Love it.
Wait, so how would you use 3 words to describe your book launch?
Exhausting, exhilarating, rewarding.
Damn it, I was really hoping that you would
Say.
have an extra E, exhausting,
Oh,
exhilarating,
yeah, a little alliteration.
rewarding. Love that.
Really rewarding. I would say the most fulfilling thing I've done in my career. So I'm super excited, but I would say it's one of those things you can't like sustain, and that was a big lesson for me, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved every second of it.
I just love your book because like whenever I'm doing my tarot spreads and sometimes I'll just look at my cards and be like, what the fuck are you saying? Yeah. Like, I don't know what this message is. And then I pick up your book and I go, and the poetry itself just like makes me bawl every time. But like, it just, the message is right there. And I'm like, okay, this is what I needed.
Well, I appreciate that. First of all, I love that you guys love it because you know me. So like the fact that my friends are actually enjoying it makes me so happy. And selfishly, I don't get as many texts from you guys about what the cards mean. So I'm like, cool, they got the book, they're good to go.
Yeah, no, exactly. I
Like
never
children to give them a book and just they're preoccupied.
Well, I never want to bother you because,
No,
like
you're not bothering me at all.
Because especially like, we have friends that are psychics or friends that are like astrologers or sex coaches, whatever. And like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to bother you with a question, but
No, I'm always down.
So one of the things you've picked up more recently in your work is Feng Shui.
Feng Shui.
Yes.
Feng Shui.
And I know some of your content has like stuff about Feng Shui.
It has.
And that's what I want to make this episode about because you had some really good bedroom tips.
Yes.
Some that I've applied myself.
Good.
Let me just say, recently I got rid of some clutter. But
Good. That's a great first step.
yeah. But anyways, I don't know if you're ready to dive back into
Let's do
that.
it.
But first of all, what got you into Feng Shui?
So I've always been like I think because I'm an empath, like when I walk into a space, I know I like it or I don't. And I know I'm having some sort of like physical or emotional reaction to it. And I'm inspired by it usually if it's like jiving with me. And my mom growing up, honestly, used to keep our home feeling really beautiful and really feminine and just all these little touches. Like she really enjoyed that. So I felt like I grew up understanding the benefit of having a home that was intentional.
Yeah.
And that was like, even during rough times and harder chapters, like that was still a space that I felt really comforted by because of how she had made it.
Love
so I think that combined with like, my fiance is an architect, so we talk about design. I just started to wonder like, can I apply psychic work to spaces? And I started trying to read them. And my like philosophy with Feng Shui at this point is that it's supposed to be like an extension of your aura. Your home is like another part of you. So your auric field is about, a couple feet around you, 360 degrees. And your home is a reflection of you. So it's like kind of taking that boundary and making it larger.
Love that.
I absolutely agree with this because like when you go into someone's house or someone's apartment and you're like, oh, wow, like this is them.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is them.
Or you're like, wait, like this doesn't feel like you at all. Like
Exactly.
where are you? You know what I mean?
I know there was one of my play partners, him and his girlfriend. I absolutely love their apartment.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes,
Every
a
single
great
time,
apartment.
every single time I go in, it just they have so much like art and so many like interesting pieces, and they incorporate like a ton of plants and a ton of like art and like really cool textures in their furniture. So like every single time I would go over there, it would just feel so peaceful and so like inviting and warm, and I always loved it. I know they were just recently like in the process of like moving to a different unit while their original one was getting like fixed up or whatever, or, you know, remodeled. And so I'm hoping that, you know, now that they're back in their space, it's like the same. And I'm just like, "Ugh, I just love visiting there." And
I
it's,
like that example.
yeah.
I think it's too, like, I always say to my clients who I work with on this, like, your home and how you treat it is kind of how you treat yourself. So if you have a ton of clutter and a ton of stuff and you're not letting go of things, that's very telling of how, like, your own energy is wired.
Oh, yeah.
So it's cool, like, to see.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, like, you have some sort of, I don't want to call it a block, but if there's a particular thing that they're, like, really resisting, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the block there? So I
I
know we're
have
going to talk. Go ahead.
I have a great example of that. My first apartment when I moved to LA, Nikki can attest
yes,
to
yes,
this.
yes, yes.
This
So
was before she lived in LA?
Yeah, when I
Okay.
lived in my house, and then Katie
yeah,
had her
Nikki
apartment.
lived
Gotcha.
in Santa Clarita and I moved down to Studio City.
Okay.
And I moved into this tiny apartment. I was going through, you know, the fact that my ex-fiance and I had broken up. I was living by myself for like the first time ever. When I say that apartment was so bare, like there was nothing. The living room was just a couch and a tiny end table,
Yeah.
no TV, no wall art, nothing. I had a little dining room table and then I had my bed and that was it.
You were feeling empty.
I was. It was actually, the more I think about it, I was like, you know, because I reflected on that apartment a lot. Because I like, and surprisingly, like that, I was also like going through like a tiny hoe phase. And, well, no, not tiny hoe phase. I was going through a hoe phase. And I would bring dudes over and I would just be like, please don't judge the fact that like my apartment is so bare. And I would just like lie every time and be like, I just moved in. I lived there for like, I want to say 7-8 months. So kind of. You know, maybe it was like a little half lie, but like I didn't feel connected to the space. I didn't feel like I could stay there. And I felt like the less I put in there, the more quickly I would move out.
Yeah.
So I just,
You had an escape plan
yeah.
from the very beginning.
Yeah, but like sometimes I think back to that apartment and like I had some pretty like lonely days in there. And it was just me, Snow, and my cat and, you know, and bare furniture. And I was just like, I wasn't going to the gym. I was barely eating. I lost a ton of weight. Like I was not taking care of myself
It's
at
such a
all.
reflection of what was going on.
Yeah.
That's
So-
wild.
What I think back to is that like when I lived with my ex-husband, our bedroom was always just like a wreck, and I didn't like our bathroom was great. The bathroom was usually pretty pristine, and we designed it. We remodeled it and designed it the way we wanted to, but like the bedroom space was like, always both of us were really bad about just like leaving clothes everywhere. And then like I never actually really liked our bedroom furniture, and you know, it like never felt like a sexy space. And our sex life was kind of just like, it was okay. It was, I mean, there were times where like it was great, and then other times where it was like meh. And I was like, sometimes I think back and I'm like, I think we should have probably put a little bit more like intention into like making like our bedroom space more like,
It wasn't adding anything.
yeah, exactly.
It wasn't enhancing it.
Yes, it would have helped if maybe we had made it a little bit sexier. And I think back to the bedroom set I had, it was not sexy. And we had a TV in there. And I know you said that was one of the...
Not good. We'll talk about it with the rules.
Okay, well, where do you want to start? What are the good
Yeah,
ones?
I mean, I'll start with saying like decluttering is like Feng Shui 101. So a lot of people are quick to like read the books and look up different like, you know, videos or things like that and try to find the crystals and the Feng Shui cures. And it can get really overwhelming. Declutter your space. Like have less shit. That's really where it starts, because everything holds energy. So especially if you are holding on to things from like college or high school, even like, you know, really like childhood, that's all coming with you into a space in an area where you want to act really ready and responsible and excited. So like, you know, whether it's a physical partnership or a romantic partnership, a long time partnership, you want to arrive like kind of fully present and healed. So stuff from the past is like not going to support you. So decluttering the space is key, but I also say that it's because you want to make room for that partner. Like, because it's your private area. So I know like living alone, single for some time, like that was the space I kind of just left things, because if I had friends over, they're not going to go in my bedroom. They're going to hang out in the living room. So like a pile of clothes in the corner, or like just, I don't know, heaps of stuff. That is showing the room and the energy that there's no room for someone else. There's no room in the closet for them. There's no room on the bedside table for their stuff. Like You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes total sense.
If you're taking up every corner with like just your energy, it's really setting the tone.
That reminds me of the apartment that I had after my divorce. In that bedroom, there was no room for
Like a
anyone.
bomb went off, like makeup and
Yeah, there was no room for anyone else. And it's true because at that time, like I had just gotten divorced. I was really focusing on me and there was not room for anyone else. I love that.
Totally. And I think too, like from there, after doing that, really understanding that the bedroom wants to feel balanced. So although it's annoying, making sure that everything's in twos, you know, not buying just one nightstand, having another one on the other side is really important in feng shui. I'd say one of the biggest pieces in partnership. Do you guys have one nightstand?
I
have no nightstands.
All right, we got to start there.
In my current bedroom, I have one. It's actually that little end table that I had in my first apartment that I've been actually meaning to throw away because I really don't like it.
Yeah.
And I want to get like a new bed frame, new everything in my room because it's just like I still don't give my bedroom like that much attention.
Well, it's just not the space that we host, so it's not what we think about. But then we do end up hosting like potential people.
Yeah.
And then you're like, shit, I'm a little embarrassed by this. So that is a hard thing. I would say honestly, her not having any is better balanced than you having one, especially one that you don't like. Just get
That's
rid
what
of it.
I thought too. And
I'm gonna get rid of it.
But I
I'm
have a
gonna go home
question.
and toss it.
So like I've been to plenty of guys' houses and they only have one nightstand. Do you think that's because there's no room for a partner
There's
there?
no room. They're like,
It's just me, what I need right here, this nightstand.
I'm in my own lane. Yep, pretty much. But I will say too, like you can extend that to like pillows as well. Like do 4, 2, or 6 pillows. Like I wouldn't do 3. So like that little accent pillow that we all love to do, all the girlies love a little like cutesy pillow. To create 3s, especially. I mean, depending on, I guess, the type of relationship you want. But let's talk monogamy and like just that type of thing. You're inviting in energies of others with 3s or uneven numbers.
So for monogamous people, even number of pillows. For non-monogamous for non-monogamous people,
Do whatever you want.
odd number of pillows, whatever you want.
Go crazy.
I have 6 pillows on
So
my
do
bed.
I. 3, 3, 3.
Yeah,
Nice.
3 on
Stacked
each side.
on- yep.
6. Yeah, I have 6 pillows. But it's funny because I've been to guys. I remember you told me that tip one time, and I've been to guys' houses before, and I'll count how many pillows they have. And sometimes I'll be
see
like,
her doing
I'm
this.
like, do you want a relationship? And they're like, yeah. And I'll be like, get rid of one pillow. And they're like, what?
I love that you're telling people to do that. That makes me so
Oh
happy.
my god, he said that.
But that said, too, like, you know, we said like as many pillows as you want, depending on the type of relationship you want. I would say in general, though, like balance and even numbers just on an energetic level is good. It's calming. It feels more, there's just better balance and better harmony. So you are able to relax more when there's not so many like 3s, you know, or 4s or 6s, whatever.
That makes sense.
just-
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah. Because then sometimes you're like, well, what do I do with this one extra pillow? Just put it in the middle, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just more stuff. Let me see what else I have as far as tips because I have a ton. No stuff from your ex. Like, just get rid of it. You don't need his hoodie anymore. Well, put it somewhere else at least. Don't keep it in the bedroom.
What about the
So-
closet?
What? Yeah.
Just get
What if
it
it's
gone.
clothes? Because,
I
like,
don't
for
love it.
example,
I don't love the idea.
I will never. My ex fiance
Okay, but those are your pants.
gifted me a pair of.
I think if it's a gift, it's a little different.
That's different, yeah.
But we all have like the T-shirts that we slept in. I mean,
Oh,
I've
I
had
do.
that
I do.
before.
I have like 2 T-shirts. One from a fling that I had like 2-3 years ago, and then another one. I think it's from a college.
Yeah.
Really.
I have
That can
Calvin's
go.
hoodie, and my more recent, I have one of his T-shirts. Yeah. And I'm not letting go of either of them.
Take them out of the bedroom.
I wear Calvin's hoodie skiing every single time.
Wow.
It's a great skiing hoodie.
Okay. Do what you want, but
The
not my
Vans
favorite.
one.
Okay, what?
The Vans one.
Yeah.
Why? It's so thin and it's massive.
I know, but I'm saying it covers my butt, so when I put it underneath my overalls, it works really well. And then I put my jacket over it. Yeah, it just works. And it
Well,
just,
maybe you can find someone to get you a new great hoodie. Because you've been like acquiring great ski gear.
I have, yes. Yes. But I am very
Nikki's
attached.
been on a ski gear journey.
She's been.
I am very attached to that hoodie from Calvin, so I don't know. We'll see, but continue.
Next, art that also feels balanced and passionate. Like it should inspire you. It shouldn't feel like if you put up this like desert landscape, this like barren, like no, that's not what we want. We want something that feels really like alive and passionate. And I would also say like same thing. You don't want a photo of like a woman alone necessarily. If you want partnership and connection, like you want things that are in twos and pairs and things like that.
I was gonna say, over my bed, I have two framed art pieces or two framed prints and
From erotic watercolor.
Which are beautiful, by the way.
Yes, they are so beautiful. And in one of them, it's two women having a threesome with a man, and in the other one, it's two men having a threesome with a woman. So
it's balanced.
It's balanced.
See,
there are
in
6
my
people
room,
total.
I bought 2 prints from erotic watercolor. One, it's a couple, they're like hugging each other on a bed and like, you know, kissing, and you can like see their side outline. And then the other one, it's a girl like sitting on a guy's lap they're both facing frontward, and he's like choking her and like grabbing her boob. But one of them's in my bathroom and the other one's in my bedroom.
Okay.
So the 2 aren't in my room. I have them separate.
Here's another thing too. Like if you love something, which you guys love those prints.
Yeah.
It is a part of you. You know what I mean? I'm not like in feng shui in general, you never want to like limit your personality either. That's where I'm like I like to say that I work with clients on like sacred space more. Like it's more the energy of it. So the one thing that will kind of override any traditional rule is if you love something. If it makes you happy, if it makes you creatively inspired, if it makes you feel amazing about yourself, then keep it.
Yeah.
But just be mindful of it. So if you're listening and you're like, I don't know, like I'm really wanting to manifest partnership. Like I'm willing to make these subtle adjustments and just see if it makes a difference, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're like really resisting something I'm sharing, then that might mean that like it's a part of you and it's a part of your home and it's meant to be there.
Yeah.
Like those prints, I think, are meant to be in your guys' space.
I love mine. I think they look great. And then I have like a little light that's like red and blue and purple. And so it's very moody. But I do need nightstands and I do need better. I
My
need
mom
nightstands.
came to visit and she slept in my room. She sees the painting of the girl getting choked and she's like, Cummy, what are you doing? What is this?
I'm like, relax with this.
She was like, Mommy, Dad, I don't like that. I'm like, whatever. Just close your eyes.
Welcome, Mom. What about your guys' like bed? Where is it positioned?
Mine's in the center of the room.
Is it like, can you see the door when you're laying down?
I mean, it's kind of like, so like if you enter my room, you enter and then go like,
it's almost like a little hallway.
It's to the right. And that's where my bed is.
Okay. What about yours?
So mine, the bed is like pushed in a corner.
Okay.
And because I like it that way. I don't know why.
It makes you feel like safer.
I slept in your room, or I've been sleeping in your room the last 2 nights while you've been out, and it does feel cozy. Yeah. It has like a cozy vibe to it.
Yeah. So, but you can see the door.
That's good. Being able to see the door like creates that safety. It's called the command position. So you want to be against a solid wall. You don't want to be like under a window, and you want to be able to see it, you know, easily.
Well, no, you're good. Move it a little bit. There you go. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so you don't want your bed under a window,
You don't want your bed under a window.
and you want to face the door.
Yes, you want to be able to see the door if you can. And like, for instance, like my bedroom, like the way it's arranged, it's a loft, blah, blah, blah. Like we actually aren't in the optimal position. And I've noticed like my dreams are crazier. It's a little harder to fall asleep sometimes compared to other apartments I've been in.
Do you, here's a tip for that. Sleep with labradorite under your pillow or like on your wrist.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
You're like crystal girly now.
Oh my God. I went last night and it's so funny because I went on kind of a date. We went to grab ice cream and then afterwards he was like, do you want to go grab a drink across the street? And I was
trying
like,
to extend the date and you were like,
And I was like, actually, I really want to go to this crystal shop and pick up a bracelet that I had a dream about the other night. Would you be down to go do that? And he was like, sure. So we went and I picked up this purple one was just like calling to me. This is tourmaline. And then this is labradorite. And I got it because when I did Reiki, my Reiki girl was saying, she was like, use labradorite so that like you kind of protect yourself like when you're either like channeling or like reading tarot or like whatever. So it helps if you put it under your pillow. It helps with your dreams too.
Good.
Yeah.
I want to try that out. I've found ways to make it like more serene in there and like help my sleep, but I have noticed it since my bed was positioned there. But what else can I say? Oh, no books in your bedroom. This is more of a feng shui like tip overall.
Really? Why is that?
So it's bringing in the voice and chatter of other people. So it's going to keep you up and make you dream more vividly.
Interesting.
And definitely no like self-help books either.
Because people keep like books on their bedside table all the time.
I think like one or two, but there are also people that have like a bookshelf in their
I used to date a
bedroom.
guy that had like a whole library in his bedroom.
Yeah, it's like a lot. It's very
Yeah.
stimulating. So it's just something to think about. It's going to make you a little less relaxed, and it also brings in the opinions and the judgments of other people and other voices.
Interesting. No, I keep all my books on my in my dining room.
I like that.
So
That's
yeah,
a good spot.
I like it too.
What else? I would say like appeal to the senses, you know, like make sure that your bedding feels really luxurious and like textured, and make sure you have candles, like make it a vibe in there. That's
Yeah.
gonna set the tone. That's gonna
love
make it feel
moody.
moody. Exactly. And like if you are someone who likes to decorate with a lot of color, your bedroom's actually a really good place to use more yin inspired colors, so darker colors. That's gonna make us feel more like cozy and like cave like.
Yeah.
Compared to like the really light and bright, that's very energizing.
So like avoid yellows and oranges.
I would. Well, warm tones are actually really nice too because they're passionate. I don't think it's really about. To me personally, it's not about the color. It's more the tones are like really rich and feel kind of like more calming in that sense, more earthy.
Okay.
I like that. I remember in my old house in Kansas, I painted it like a, what was it? It was like this like really lovely like pale blue. And then I had some like really nice dark blue curtains. But what I love the most is I bought this comforter from, I think it was from like Wayfair. It was like a fur rug almost, but it was a comforter, and it was my favorite thing. After I got out of the shower like naked, I would just like dry off and then like go on the bed and just like spread out, and I just loved it because it felt so comfortable and cozy. And having sex on that thing was amazing.
Like our bodies want all that those feelings. Like when you're
I
in your
want
space.
the fur feeling.
Do you agree with this? I think darker bedding is better because it doesn't show stains.
Fair
Like
enough.
if you're like having
Depending on the stain.
yeah. Well, I mean, but just I always prefer darker bedding because like if you're with
I
your,
like it.
if you, with your partner, like I don't know if a guy has like white sheets or like really light sheets. I'm like, granted, my sheets are light, but I was actually looking the other day at darker sheets because then I'm like, okay, well, what if I like start my period randomly, and like I get blood on his sheets, which has happened before, and then you're just like, yeah. So personally, I love when people have darker color sheets.
I think they're like going back to that like yin inspired energy. I actually think dark sheets would be great for that.
Okay.
Soothing.
That's all the confirmation I needed to go.
I
buy
want to
darker
redo my
sheets.
entire bedroom
No,
after
you-
this
I
conversation.
know you're going to want
How
to.
do you feel about plants in the bedroom?
I don't love them.
Really?
I sound like I don't like your bed is for, we know what it's for, sleeping and sex. Like
Yeah.
your bedroom is really minimal. So compared to everywhere else in your room, it should feel like a sanctuary. It should feel very calming. And a lot of people listening might be like, I love plants. Like they make me so happy. They also carry that yang energy. They're the wood element. So they're growing up, they're growing tall, they're constantly, in that phase of growth. When we kind of want to go into a phase of like winter, slumber, dare I even say like death, that's the vibe, the yin, the shadow, the moon, the lunar. So none of that is, this like blooming upward energy. It's something more like grounding.
What about like succulents? No.
Oh, succulents are interesting. Succulents are highly protective. So you'll notice like they were really meant to be more in like landscaping.
Okay.
And we started bringing them inside because they're super low maintenance, but they're actually a very protective and defensive kind of energy. So just knowing that.
Good to know. Okay.
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of succulents outside of this recording
Which is
studio.
Great for
job.
outside. Wonderful for outside.
I was actually thinking about putting a tree in my bedroom, so now I'm gonna have to pivot to something else.
I would, but like something like fresh flowers, like not that aren't like an actively growing plant, but instead like a really romantic, like, oh, I keep a couple roses in my bedroom or something. That's okay.
Okay.
Super feminine. That goes back to like the senses too.
Okay, I like that. Okay, but not a tree. Okay, good to know. It's funny because when I went to go get a tree for my bedroom, I was like, something just doesn't feel right about this.
Every other room needs a plant, in my opinion, besides the bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of other spaces for plants.
Okay.
Bathroom.
Very good for bathrooms because bathrooms drain energy because of the like flushing the toilets and the drains in the sink. It's constantly like taking out from our space in our home. So adding more that's like growing is great.
One of my favorite tips from you ever was to always leave
Always. That
the
is
toilet
like-
lids closed. And I
don't judge people for things usually, but that is when I judge them.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well-
if I see it open in your house, I'm like, no.
Ever since you said that, I always close the toilet lids in every single toilet in my bathroom. And then if I go to other people's places and I notice that they're open, I'll just
Close it for them.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the biggest favor you could do for them.
And then I tell
their
them,
money.
keep your toilet lids closed.
No.
Energetically, if it's open, you are letting abundance go down the drain. So
Let's
keep
talk
them
about
closed.
mirrors and screens.
Okay.
yes.
It's really important.
Because in my old bedroom, I used to have a mirror, a big, like,
Yeah, the closet door thing.
yeah. Well, no. For me, it was just like a mirror leaning against the wall right next to my bed. And then I had my computer in there. So, and it was not ever.
Did you sleep well?
No.
Did you dream like I mean, you always dream like crazy.
I always dream like crazy, but I did. I would have some intense
Like nightmares
moments.
and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
I did put now. In my spirituality, I use the runes, so I drew like a little rune on my mirror, and
That's
that helped.
great.
But yeah, I took my mirror out of my bedroom. Now it's no longer in there.
Yeah, those protective practices are really helpful. So screens from a TV also serve as a mirror because when they're off, it can still reflect that way. So a mirror is just, in Feng Shui, it disperses energy. So imagine all the energy kind of bouncing off of it. So
Yeah.
it's like bouncing all around. And the biggest issue with them for me is that they also bring in potential like reflections of you and your partner. So that creates more people in the room with you. So whether that's spirits, if you believe that, or third parties, other people coming into your relationship. Again, if you want like a serious, committed, more monogamous style, that's not ideal to bring in that like reflection of others.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I've never liked having like TVs in a room.
Yeah.
But
Like-
there are so many couples that's how they unwind at night. They've got a TV right in front of their bed.
And that's a great example of like Feng Shui. Use it when you want to change something. Don't feel like if something's working for you, keep it up.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I'm super happy, we love watching TV, it's not a problem, we sleep, we fuck, we're happy. Great, leave the TV then. But if you're not, then
If they're not fucking, they're not sleeping, maybe remove the
maybe
TV.
remove the TV and just like see if it makes a difference.
Love that. And then mirrors.
Same thing.
Same thing. No
Yeah.
mirrors. Yeah.
Preferably no mirrors. Yeah.
I think it's
They're
always good
just
to like have it
stimulating.
like on a like in a hallway, like right outside of your bedroom.
Yes.
That way, as soon as you leave your bedroom, boom, there you go. There's a mirror.
When you're like making transitions, like out the door, you can like check yourself first. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like that too. I would say like if you have to have a mirror in your bedroom, which is totally okay if you're sleeping and you're happy with it, just don't face your feet towards the mirror. Like have it be on the side of you rather than like at the edge of your bed.
Ooh, why is that?
It's just that's what I've learned when I studied it. It's just like again, like because it's dispersing energy back and kind of flooding you with energy, it's like all you're being like kind of it's just overstimulating.
Good to know.
I remember with my ex, Mike, at one point, he was like in between apartments and he was living at his dad's place. And his room had two, like, one wall was all mirrors. And then on the other side, it was the closet doors and those were mirrors. And they were constantly facing each other. And I hated looking at those.
Yeah.
Because, like when two mirrors face each other, it's just like that continuation, like of the reflection.
It's like how many realities am I in right now?
No, I know.
'Cause
I
you
was
can
like,
see so many.
sometimes it would like creep me out, especially at night, like if I would just randomly wake up. So, I was always
That's
like
a great example.
holding on to him, like cuddled, like I don't want to wake up and like look at these mirrors.
That's why in my old bedroom I had my mirror to the side because I did not want it in front of me.
Yeah.
And I've been to guys' houses where like right in front of their bed is just like a wall of mirrors for the closet. And it's really hot when you're having sex and you can look at yourself, but at night when you're sleeping, no, I don't want to wake up.
I also want to say too, like so many of the apartments and especially here in LA, like modern homes are not great for feng shui. Like they're not following these rules. So like, for example, when someone develops a big apartment building, they put those mirrored windows. They put the doors because it's an easy place to put a mirror and it's an easy like
makes the room
solve.
look bigger. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, so just know that like a lot of what we're talking about today, if you're like, damn it, my bedroom is not really fitting into any of this criteria, you are not alone in that. It's about enhancing and bringing, the small adjustments you can.
Yes, absolutely. Starting with the bed, the nightstand that I need to get rid
Aren't
of.
you supposed to have the nightstand sit below where the mattress is?
A little bit below, yeah. It doesn't need to be super low, but they definitely shouldn't be higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either at the same level or a little lower.
I remember we went to someone's house to record a podcast episode actually.
And they were super into feng shui.
Yeah, they were really into feng shui. So like they had all the like the curved furniture so like the energy could flow, and you know, plants in certain spaces and stuff like that. And like their bedroom was just art. I don't even think
it was super sexy. That's actually where I got the inspiration for the art for my bedroom.
Was it like big art?
Some of them were, but they had like a collage wall of boobs. Like artistic pictures of boobs or like paintings or whatever, and I was so in love with it, and that's where I got the idea that I was like, okay, I want to have like some really like sexy art in my room. And I mean, guys that have been, hasn't been that with two guys guys have been in my room, they're like they love the paintings. And so yeah, I think it's always good to have like more kind of like the sexy stuff in there.
I think it's important to not always play it safe either, like by showing your personality, so when you do have a guy in your room, he's like, I get it, I know what she's about, like I can feel who she is, you're not hiding yourself. I think that's important.
It makes me wonder what, like, you know, if someone saw my bedroom, I wonder what they would think of me. I'm like, I mean, my room is not very big, you know, and I have my lamp that's got like moody lighting. I have my bed in the corner because I like it cozy. And then I have a little rug and my nightstand that I hate in my closet. And then that's really
They'd be like, why are there 4 cats in here?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Wait, question. Okay, because I feel like women in general, we try more with our spaces. And I think single men is where they kind of tend to struggle. So like what would be your like top tips for like single men?
My top tip would be take pride in your space.
Okay.
And show off that you are put together and whatever that looks like to you, you know, organized and on top of your game. I think that's really attractive to women. So it doesn't need to be like, we understand you're not going to have the perfect eye. Not everyone is going to have the best eye for like aesthetics or color or design. If you just look like you take care of it, you dust, you know, like I would be pretty happy with that. Pull it together.
Dusting is actually that's a great point, because
like
you don't realize how many people don't dust until you go in someone's spot and you're like, that done.
It's looking a little dingy.
Yeah.
I love it when guys have candles.
Yeah.
And I will, one time there was this Virgo I was hooking up with.
Well, that explains it.
And yeah, he was like 25. He was so hot. His body was like in perfect shape. His dick was great. The sex was bomb. His bedroom was a fucking nightmare.
Oh.
That's
not what I expected you to say.
So bad.
A Virgo?
Yeah. No. That's the thing about Virgos. No one knows this. Virgo, like
My Virgo rising is not.
okay, Virgo suns. I would
Virgo
say Virgo
suns.
moons are a little bit different, but Virgo suns, I have noticed this time and time again.
It is a pattern.
There is one area of their life where everything is meticulous, and a lot of times it's their body. A lot of Virgo suns that I've met have great bodies, great physical shape, great health. Virgo does rule the 6th house of health and like body and everything. Their spaces, their houses, their rooms, chaos.
Well, that's true. It's not like it rules the 4th house of home.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it rules the 6th. So, but yeah, I just remember like his bed frame had like this thing that stuck out that I like hit my shin on multiple times. There was laundry everywhere. He didn't have a nightstand. He just had a rolling chair next to his bed.
That's what I mean. And he probably wasn't like totally taking pride in like maybe his body and his physical shape. Yeah. Sure. But like his life, like he probably didn't feel super on top of everything.
And like great guy, like really great personality, really great guy. But I just remember I took one look at his bedroom and I was like, the 25 is showing. Yeah. So I agree. Taking pride in it, making it neat, like just as long as like there's not a shit ton of laundry everywhere. And I try to be really good about that too, because I used to be really bad about it. And now I'm like, okay, either I just like throw it all in the wash or keep it like sequestered to like, you know, the closet. And so, yeah.
My biggest tip for dudes is bed sheets. Like just get a fucking top sheet.
Bed sheet.
Damn, dude. Like,
But a fitted sheet that goes
a
around.
fitted sheet, around the mattress.
Wait, have you seen people without a fitted sheet or without a top sheet? Or
I've seen people with
both.
like, instead of a fitted sheet, they use just a top sheet.
That's psychotic because that's so annoying.
Exactly.
And so then at night it punches up.
And yeah.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
The guy I was recently seeing was just no sheets.
No sheets?
No sheets?
Like just
Just raw.
no sheets. Wow, that's bold. What about you? Any past college dudes?
I've seen, some stuff for
Yeah.
sure. Or just the same thing, like the mess where it's just like, what is going on? Or bathrooms, honestly, like
Yeah.
that's even worse.
Oh God, yes.
you know,
Wait,
I
how was Cam before?
Pretty cleanly.
Yeah, I was gonna say he gives off the vibes of like
He's pretty meticulous. I mean, he's pretty OCD if we're being honest. So he's like very, very, very particular. He has certain things he just avoids. His one thing is in the fridge. See,
Okay.
I am like every time I go grocery shopping, I clean out the fridge. I check like, okay, like is this expired? Like I just am very, maybe that's my Virgo rising. Like it's a health thing. I'm very serious about like nothing in here that we don't want and that feels old. And he will put something in the back of the fridge and I'll be like, when did this get here? Like 2 years ago? Like, so I noticed that before we were dating and living together, or when we first started dating, like the fridge was a weird, like out of sight, out of mind for him.
Oh wait, question, because sometimes, you have a partner and you move in together and then you realize that like your decorating styles, your like habits, everything are like so different. I'm curious any tips you might have on finding balance, merging. Yeah. What to prioritize.
Well, it's so hard because some people are really starkly different. I think like if you are in a partnership where like you guys just have very different tastes, like to the point where it's like, it's easier to just kind of like separate things, like saying like, okay, this is like your space in your room where you're really going to do your thing. And like, hey, mine, it's the living room. It's really important to me that I have it feel a certain way and make it that compromise.
Okay.
But my other suggestion is I think one of the problems is we try to combine things from our past and make it our present.
Yeah.
So just know that you're going to feel the most successful when you purchase items together,
Yeah.
when you find art together, when you go to the plant store together, which I understand means that you have to buy new things. So it's going to take some time. But like a lot of the problem is not just the fact that aesthetically it feels off. It's that it's coming from a time in their life or your life that's no longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I remember when my ex-husband and I moved in together, he had this set of, it was a painting.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
and
about.
it was painted it was painted by his ex-fiance's mother.
Oh God.
And he loved that painting. And I actually loved it too. And it was always in our home. It was because we
In
moved-
every home you had.
yeah, every home we had,
Here's that painting again.
It stayed with us, and I just remember like every single time, like I always looked at it and thought of her, which I like sometimes like hated. Not that she was a great person,
Yeah.
nothing wrong there, but it sucked because like I did really love the painting, and so did he. But at the same time, like the energy was
just
very
felt
much
weird.
still attached. Yeah.
That's hard. That's really hard. I think that brings up a good point too. Like some people with like family heirlooms and things that they really feel attached to. Love that. I think that's wonderful. But just be mindful of what area of your home you put it in. For example, all of our homes, this is kind of veering into a new category, but all of our homes have a wealth corner, a space where we draw abundance and money and wealth and prosperity into our space. So if you have grandma so-and-so's XYZ object, whatever picture, if she wasn't very abundant, if she struggled and had a lot of lack and energy of, not feeling wealthy, that's not the best place to put it.
Yeah.
Not because you don't love and admire who she was, it's just not ideal for that corner.
Good
Wait,
to
and
know.
it's the most left-hand corner.
You're going to get like a lot of different answers on this, but for super basic Feng Shui 101, doing it yourself, not working with someone to go into your home and figure it out, I would say yes, you walk into your home and go as far back and as far to the left as you can go.
And that's
Far
your
back
wealth
to the
corner.
left.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's where you want to put.
That's where you want to put definitely a plant because it's ruled by the wood element. So you want something that's growing tall, ideally, and healthy. You don't want a dying plant. You don't want dried flowers. People ask me that. Well, what about dried flowers? Not ideal. People ask about fake plants because they don't have a green thumb, which I totally understand. Cam takes care of our plants. I have nothing to do with it. So I would be in the same boat. Fake plants are fine because they're usually, they're green and they look healthy. And the color green is also really supportive of that particular corner.
What's the left-hand corner for us?
I'm trying to think in your guys' space. Yours is hard. You also have like a lot of levels.
But if you go up the stairs and then it's furthest left, it's where we have the dog toys.
Well, they are very abundant. They're full
Our
of
dogs
love
live
and
good
joy.
lives.
They
Yeah.
do. They do. They are like, yeah. Oh, I miss Snow.
Maybe we should. I know.
So I have a question.
I miss Snow too.
Say a
I've
couple.
barely seen her all week.
Say a couple is like really struggling with their sex life. Like, what should they bring into the bedroom? Anything specific? I was gonna say rose quartz.
Yeah, rose quartz is
Crystals,
helpful,
yeah.
but also anything like that supports the sacral. So I would say like, crystals that are related to sacral chakra or the solar plexus for confidence. Like maybe there's this kind of feeling of not initiating or not feeling inspired to like pursue each other. This kind of more active energy of like, all right, let's get after it,
So some good crystals for that. For anyone listening that is a crystal girly or dude.
Citrine maybe.
Citrine, I was going to say because that's yellow and that's good for like abundance. Carnelian. Sunstone.
Yeah.
I think I'm wearing sunstone.
I'm trying to think what amethyst would be really good, even though that's purple.
Yeah.
Amethyst is really good for the shit, what am I thinking? It's good for love. And then rose quartz, I know we already said. And then there was one more I was going to say.
I would go ahead.
I can't remember, so you go ahead.
But just keep appealing to the senses, like dim the lights or bring in another color light or something, like like a red light or something. See how that like, adds to the vibe. Or candles for sure. Diffuse really like amazing smelling oils that just kind of like make you feel
Yes.
good. I would say music. Like honestly, music and sound is really important to move energy. So if it's been a little stagnant, if you guys haven't been feeling really passionate or connected, play some music. Obviously, it might get you more in the mood, but on an energetic level, it's actually shifting things. It's actually moving, the stagnant bits.
I would recommend if you need like sexy music, 2 Feet or The Weeknd.
Love it.
I remember one time, this is my favorite story ever. The Weeknd, his new album came out a few years ago. And Calvin and I, back then we were seeing each other, had sex to the entire album, just 4 hours straight on repeat. And then I got a UTI that spread to a kidney infection. I had to go to the ER, but it was the music really helped keep that like going for as long as it did.
I haven't had a 4-hour sex session in like 2 years. It's time.
Yeah, I haven't either. But anyways, and he also had like he had like a lamp in his room that had like a colored bulb. And now like I have in my room, I have like, I don't know if you guys, for anyone on YouTube, like these purple lights that are like behind us, like I have one similar in my room where like it makes the wall around it purple and like this like pinkish. So yeah, sometimes those colors like are a little sexier. Yeah. And you can get that lamp on Amazon. It's like really sleek. It was like $90 and it's like an LED. You can control it with your phone. So I can literally just like tap on my phone, boop, and it's on. And then
I have the bulb.
Another recommendation that just came to mind. Also, like remove anything work-wise from your room.
Yes.
Just because it's distracting you. It's bringing up like, expectations and responsibilities. So like put your phone away, take it into the other room, take out anything like your computer, your laptop, your work stuff, because that is not sexy either. And it has a different place. Like anywhere that you work, maybe your home office or your dining room, it's all better suited for that.
Yeah.
You don't want to work from bed and then try to like have sex.
No,
I used to sleep with my phone outside of my room. And I don't know why I stopped that because I actually liked it a lot more.
It's really nice.
It felt really peaceful.
I at least put my phone like on the other side of the room. Like my charger's plugged in far from my bed.
Mine's usually like on the bed because sometimes I'll fall asleep to like I'll put like like 532 megahertz music and like put it right next to me and fall
That's
asleep.
another good idea. Healing tones.
Yeah.
Yeah. For heart.
A sound machine. Oh,
So nice.
Oh my God, I called you last night and you had your sound machine on. And I was like,
she
are you
FaceTimed me. She's like, are you by the beach? I was like, oh, sorry.
I was like, it's 10:30 at
I was
night.
also
What is she
like, I was
doing
like
by
this.
the ocean?
No lights were on. It sounded like the ocean. I was completely naked. I'm just like, hi. I was like, what's going on?
I wouldn't have been able to see anything.
No, I knew you couldn't see. So I was like, I guess this is cool.
Yeah, it was funny though. I actually do really like y'all's space though, because I've been in your bedroom before. And I mean, just your whole space in general, you guys do really good with like, you have like really nice like tones. Everything's really even. And I think that's, and it also, or elements, that's what I should say.
Yeah.
Like downstairs, all the elements feel very like,
Yes.
like they kind of go
agree.
together. There was a word I was looking for, but I forgot. Anyways, and
They're
I think that's
cohesive.
one thing. Like right now, my bed frame is metal, so I'm like, okay, I either need to like get a new bed frame, which I'm kind of leaning towards, or switch to a different element because I'm like, I don't want metal nightstands.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes like the materials that it's made out of, like metal feels cold.
Totally.
So
it
I'm
does
like,
feel a little cold.
Yeah.
The metal element is really organized and really precise in feng shui. It's like, it's very like sword suit in tarot.
Yeah.
You know? So, and again, totally has a place in your house, in your space, but I would go with wood, or even like, if you like, you know, a tall, like sturdy, what's it called? Headboard, but you can have one that's like fabric. Just have it be like sturdier in energy, bigger.
Yeah.
I want to order a new bed frame because I hate mine.
I know,
Not
now
only
you
is
guys
it
have to just like buy all the stuff. I feel bad.
no,
the thing-
I've been wanting to redo. Well, that's the thing is I've been wanting to redo my bedroom for a long time because, and I like it started with that apartment in, you know, Studio City. I've never actually made a bedroom feel like home.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Not in the Studio City apartment, not in the last apartment that Nikki and I had together. That one was so bare too. And then this one, like, I like our new space. I love where we live right now. It's so spacious. It has the rooftop. It's
You have
lovely.
such a good space.
I love yes, except for the meat. But like, you know, I look at my bedroom and I'm like, okay, it is time for me to put energy into it.
Just like get to a point where we grow up, we want to level up, we want
Yeah.
our life to be a reflection of like the work that we've done on ourselves, the growth
Yes.
that we've had. Like, you know, kind of looking back at my experience, like I have moved to so many different places. I was like a chronic mover. My mom and I both were. We like together we moved a ton, which was fine, but it created this habit, like trauma response for me
Yeah.
almost, where
Yeah.
like, I mean, I've lived in like 16 or 17 places over the course of my life. Like every year of college, I moved. Every single
Same.
And in my adulthood, since coming to LA, like I've lived in like 8 different places, and it was definitely me trying to figure out like, who am I? What the hell am I about? It was an identity thing for sure,
Same.
and a
Oh,
trauma
for
thing.
sure.
And now that I'm a little bit more settled and grounded in like, you know, partnership, life, work, career, I've noticed like my house reflects that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it feels more complete, and it feels more like whole, you
Yeah.
know?
You have a great space.
Thank you.
And, you know, it's funny because like when Kimi was talking about like, you know, buying a bunch of stuff and like, you know, remaking the space, I want to do that all the time. But then I think I'm like, well, what if I like meet someone and we like move in together, and then like I want to get all new stuff because like
Totally.
I'm also one that like when my ex-husband and I got together, like he had his old mattress and old bed frame and we used that for a year, and then when we finally like we're both at a place where we had money, I was like, we're replacing all of it.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. And so I think about that. I'm like, well, I don't want to get new stuff, and then you know, who knows
I think
what
it's
happens.
like striking a balance though, because like what Cami said too was like she in that one apartment, you almost like knew that you weren't going to be there long, so you like weren't settled in. So I think there's power in saying like I don't want to be here forever. Like I want to see where my life takes me next, but I deserve and I'm worthy of being comfortable in the meantime.
Exactly.
So
I
finding like
that.
a little middle ground. It's like maybe I'm not going to buy everything, but I'm going to like do a couple things to make myself feel really good here.
Yeah, that means
Well, because at the end
of
of the day, like your space, your bedroom, you know, your home, it is such an important place. It's like it's where you lay your head at night to rest. It's where you are, you know, throughout the day
your
or
sanctuary.
after work. Yeah, it's your sanctuary. It's like where you want to come home to a place that makes you feel good and nurtured and, you know, not anxious or anything like that. So it's like I've always been OCD about like the cleanliness of my house and like, yeah, sure, maybe I don't have, you know, I've had apartments where I didn't have, you know, a lot of furniture, you know, maybe it was a little bit more bare with art, whatever, but at least I kept it tidy.
Yeah.
And I kept it, you know, neat and organized, and I always did the dishes and vacuumed and blah, blah, blah. So like I always make sure to take care of it in that regard.
Yeah.
So
And that's really number one.
yeah.
That and like natural light does wonders.
Oh,
Wait,
Keep
I was
clean,
gonna ask-
open the windows.
since Kimi and I have so many pets, what about pets in the bedroom? Like, you know, their dog bed in there. I was gonna say
Lobo, Snow, and
of them.
usually Tiesto and Great Wind all sleep in my room.
my
Even
two,
Lobo?
yeah, my 2 black cats sleep with
That
me in my
surprised
room. Yeah.
Why doesn't he sleep with you?
I
You have a
don't know.
boundary.
No. He
No.
just he likes Kami's room. That's like his safe space.
Yeah, my room is Lobo's like safe space. So he always picks a safe space.
Because yours is when you like walk in.
Yeah,
right?
my room is immediately when you walk in.
Okay.
And
But I remember like my old house, like my dogs, I had a little corgi. His dog bed was right next to my bed and right next to my nightstand. That's where he slept. And so, yeah, I mean,
I think again, it's like they are such a part of you guys. Like they're your family. They're your little soulmates.
they're my
Like,
babies. Yeah.
I feel like whoever dates you both like needs to just be okay with all the, you know
With
what I
all the-
mean?
yeah,
Like this
yeah.
is like this is us.
Yeah.
I know.
This is what's going on. I just thought of a recommendation for you guys. You know how like you have a lot of stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely put art on the staircases, like, or on the halls,
Okay.
like going up, because when you open your front door, a rush of like chi energy comes in, and it's kind of all rushing to Cammie's room right now. So she's holding probably
Dope.
the most. You're like, wonderful. So you want a reason for it to go upstairs. You want
Okay.
a reason for it to keep flowing. So like art along the walls, or like, I don't know, a carpet that slows down when you first walk in, like a runner that slows the energy from going straight into her room on the hardwood floors. That would be helpful too.
I did put a mirror right
Okay.
when you walk in, that little
Yeah.
right on the other side of the stairs. I
That's
put
really
a nice
helpful.
round mirror. I love it.
That's
It's so
good.
nice.
As my final question for
Yeah.
anyone that wants to look more into like feng shui for like their bedroom or their space, what sources do you recommend?
Yeah, so I learned through Tisha Morris. That was my teacher. I don't think she's really offering her course anymore, but she has 4 books, and I've read all of them. They're so good. And what I love about them is, I'll send you guys the links if you want to put it in show notes or anything. But like, I felt like she really combines, she's also like a Reiki practitioner. She combines energy work and homes. So it feels less like a checklist of rules, and instead it feels like you're really like embracing your space.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I'll put that in the episode description.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else.
Well, I was going
I'm
to say,
like, I feel more inspired because like
Yeah,
we've done our living room in a way that makes it feel
Yeah.
so like good to me. Like I love our living room. There's definitely some areas where like I want to add more to it, like, you know,
Yeah.
a tree in one corner and a little bit, you know, or a TV stand, blah blah blah. But like for the most part, like I love my coffee table.
Yeah,
I love the books I
coffee
have
table,
on
yeah.
It's
it.
looking really good. I need to come over and see all the changes.
Yes.
Yes. I love the couch. I love the chairs that we have. So like the living room area is like where I thrive the most.
and now we got to make our bedrooms that.
Now you guys just have to clear out all the energy of anyone who needs to go.
Yes. I would agree with
Peace
that.
out.
Well,
I have bought more plants though.
Yeah.
And they're all in the, I bought Martha.
I like the plants too. Yeah.
Oh, you named them?
Yep. Martha
that.
and Stuart. And then I bought Chip. So
Cute.
who else? Was
That's
are
it.
there-
And then you
yep.
have Phineas and Fern.
Oh,
And Cha Cha.
fitting.
Oh, and
Cha-cha.
Cha-Cha.
Wow, a lot of plants.
Yeah, she's been on a plant journey. And now I really got to think about what I'm going to do instead of a tree in my bedroom. But this is good to know. Yeah. I mean, I want my room to be like sexy. I want to invite more like romance into my life. So I'm going to take some of these tips and really try to apply them.
Vibey.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think we get a new rug. I don't like the rug I got.
Yeah.
I guess
would
we're going
agree.
shopping.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with the rug we bought?
We can find a place for it. We can put it in the office.
Okay. What was I gonna say? So where can people find you? I always put your book link in our episode description, but for all your other
Do you
stuff.
really?
Yeah.
That is so kind. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can find me at katevanhorn.com, Kate Van Horn on Instagram. My readings are there. My book is there. Yeah, would love to connect.
Y'all really should check out our book if you have any interest in tarot. I highly recommend. We do have some spiritual woo-woo
And
girlies
even
that
just, like,
listen.
Yeah.
Healing.
No, I've met a lot of people. Like I've read for your community.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
they'll put like DT fam. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
I love
come through.
that. Yeah, guys, get a reading from her because they're fucking awesome.
love
I will always talk you up,
Thank you.
and then order her book. So, and then go into feng shui. But yeah. Also, wear condoms. You know where to find us, doubleteampodcast.com. All relevant links are there. Please shop using our codes, doubleteamfam.com. And yes, I think that's all.